man had time to suck cock. To fuck women that would make a billy goat puke.
Where do you people come from?
Where do you people come from?
Adam, Jesus Christ, did you get lost in that mine? Watch out for the mice.
The sun angle of the sun is coming right in through the shed door these days. So kind of,
You got a hot spot right in your
So-
face.
yeah.
Let's just get it out of the way right out the gate. A cab, right?
All cops are
Well-
bastards.
Well, I guess these were sheriffs. A shab, right?
Yeah, dude.
These are the people you voted in to protect your city.
I think that one cop is pretty cool.
Which one?
Which one?
The one with the sniper rifle on the helicopter.
Yeah, he was pretty cool. Bent
Galt.
backwards over them rocks.
That's the best cop.
When those rocks bent his ass over.
So we're watching Rambo First Blood Part 1, the original Rambo, 1982, starring Sly, Sylvester Stallone. This is a Christmas
he wrote
movie.
this, right?
He did a rewrite of this movie. This was originally a novel. And in the novel, he was a complete psychopath, murdering hella people. But Stallone wanted to make him more sympathetic.
Mm.
Really, what Stallone is doing in this movie, he's making him more like Rocky. He's making him more childlike. He's making him more innocent. And I think it really works. It really, it's a really smart move on Stallone's part. And like I said, this is a Christmas movie. There are Christmas decorations in the
Oh, it
sheriff's
counts.
office.
Tis the season.
'Tis a season to shoot some motherfucking cops. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if he was more psychotic, that's just an incel movie. It's just like a domestic terrorist movie. It still is.
Yes. He is.
But we forgive him
But
because the
Stallone's brand is
PTSD
kind of. I was thinking like, because he wrote Rocky, and I was like, oh man, and this guy like wrote Rambo because I thought he wrote it, but I was like, oh, this guy wrote Rambo. This guy like Sylvester Stallone, he's just like a regular guy. He made himself a movie star. That's like an amazing thing.
Well, yeah, with Rocky, yes. But the thing is, after Rocky, his movies were bombing, unless there were sequels to Rocky. So he made Rocky, Rocky 2, Rocky 3. Those
And
were
then Rambo?
successful. He also made a movie called Fist. He made a movie called Victory. He made a movie called Paradise Alley, which he wrote and directed. And those were not Nighthawks. Those were all bombs. So this was kind of like, if he doesn't make this movie work, he's just going to be the
This was
Rocky
a
guy
slim-
forever.
This was his Slim Shady to Dr. Dre. That'll make if you
Absolutely,
get it,
right.
if you get it, you get it, you know.
Well, no, this is like, that's his,
spaghetti
that
on
was Rocky. That was Rocky. This is whatever his Eminem's.
No, that's literally
Marshall
the back
Mathers
album.
Mathers
this.
LP.
I'm saying Dr. Dre is Stallone in this. It doesn't matter going down this rat hole. Going down this rat mine.
I mean, it was watching this movie, like, because Rambo is like a big, his other iconic character in movies, and as opposed to Rocky. And Rocky is, I was like, oh, he's not slurring his words. He sounds like a normal guy, and everybody who
Well, he
knows him
doesn't
from
talk
Rocky's
in
like,
this
what the fuck? This guy can talk.
He doesn't talk in this movie.
Oh, he talks a lot at the end.
Yeah,
He
literally doesn't
slurs a
talk the
lot.
whole- And in that monologue, he says, "I stopped talking to people sometimes for a day, sometimes for weeks." The whole point is the whole reason he got in all this trouble is because he wasn't talking. Stupid idiot.
Well, the thing is, he's a great character in this movie, and he's really a character of. He's not. Stallone didn't create the character, but he kind of like perfected the character in this
He
one. And then
definitely- yeah.
the thing is, in the sequels, he kind of becomes a different character who's not as interesting, but.
Well,
he's-
he learned
The body
He-
count in this one is like
0,
one guy,
and
the
it's in
cop that falls out of the
self-defense.
helicopter.
and he didn't
Yeah.
even kill him.
It's kind of funny to think about.
Hey,
the
wait,
body
how did that
counts
guy?
in the-
How did
in the
they fall
following
out?
Rambos?
He threw a rock and it hit the helicopter windshield, and then the helicopter driver, like pilot.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah,
his
but-
fault. Why
Yeah,
they got
that's
to
what
Well, I
I'm
mean,
saying
it's
is,
self
like,
self-defense.
and then in the sequels, he's what's the body count of like,
Rocky 2 or
the whole
3
movie's
has
like, I didn't do it. I wasn't. I didn't. It's like it goes out
I
makes
just
a
wanted a
point.
meal.
Goes out of its way to make a point to like be like, oh, he doesn't kill anybody. He's not like.
Yeah, he
just an
just stabs
insane
them
guy.
with sharp sticks. Like he's killing these people.
Well, he does what he
He's
has to do.
ruining their.
He's in war.
Yeah, he's Batman.
But in the second
I
one,
don't-
he's like blowing away like lines.
Oh
of
really?
Vietnamese guys, or like all the other ones have just like gigantic body counts, right, Willie?
It's like a commander situation.
William, Commando.
I think he's looking it up.
William.
Commando. What did I say? Commander.
Oh,
Yeah,
Rambo 3,
don't-
he has 115 kills.
I don't think I've ever seen him. What's the newest one? That
And
one
then
looked dope.
that-
I think I'm gonna watch all of them after watching
The
this one, to be
self-titled
honest.
Rambo movie has 254, maybe.
Wait, so William, do you like this movie or not?
I love this movie. I just think the
Oh,
last scene
okay.
is stupid, but like,
No, the last scene ties it all together.
that's just
We can
because
get
you've
into
never
it.
been through the horrors of war, William.
I've never
Yeah.
been
So you
spit on
wouldn't-
and called the baby killer.
Yeah,
I don't think
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone has
never-
been through the horrors of war and is just like
What are you talking
cribbing a
Me?
bunch of bullshit he heard from other people.
Bro, what are you talking about?
So
Have
this
you
whole
seen
thing
the
of
have you seen the Expendables?
the whole thing of
The guy's
Vietnam
been through
vets
it,
being
okay?
spit on is
yeah. It's
I've
made
heard there
up,
is no
right?
proof and it's
Yeah,
completely
yeah.
made up. It's not real.
Okay, it's a
But-
fucking movie, dude. Rambo's
It's
not
funny,
real.
though, like-
Johnny Rambo's not real. So that's where you draw the line with believability when it comes to empathy.
Let's go back to the beginning of the movie because
No,
the
I
thing in
wanna-
the speech that does work is that he talks about how his friends are missing and he doesn't have any friends anymore. And the first scene of the movie is
Yeah.
he's visiting a friend, Delmar, but he finds out Delmar died
died of
from that-
cancer
from that orange stuff they were spraying
which is
around.
what?
Agent
The-
Orange.
Yeah.
But,
what
like-
is
I thought they were just drinking Squirt.
Was it Sunkissed?
The soda. What is it?
Squirt.
mean
Squirt
Tang?
is yellow, dude.
Oh, Squirt's yellow. Damn.
Yeah, you could have said Crush. You could have said
So stupid.
Sunkissed.
Crush, that's what I was
You could have
thinking
said
of.
Orange Fanta. Could have said Tang.
Yeah,
could've
but
said
I
that
had Squirt
bag.
on the brain. Sorry.
Now you look beautiful, Adam.
Squirt is
Like a,
pretty good.
with the light coming in, like with Adam looks like a noir character. Noir. Is
I
that how you
prefer
say
it straight from the tap. You know what I'm saying, guys?
that? You're really sun kissed right
Well,
now.
you're a Florida
What's
guy,
the
so you just take a straw and you pop it in an orange and you suck on that.
That's true. That is how we drink orange juice.
You don't still breastfeed.
Okay, you guys don't get
You're a
you don't
Florida
get what
guy,
I'm
right?
saying.
You don't breastfeed still.
right.
I thought you Florida men breastfeed till you're
In
like
Florida, the mothers put oranges in their brassieres and then they breastfeed their children with the fresh orange juice from Tropicana
doesn't-
Farms.
It doesn't leave
Yes.
bruises. I don't know what that means, but it doesn't leave bruises.
Then they have. That's why all Florida women have perfect
Perfect A
breasts.
cups.
Yeah. Whoa. Hey, what are you saying?
Perfect A cups. That's the
Hey,
Florida way.
what's the difference between a Florida
No.
man and
Plenty of
and a
bees.
New Jersey man?
Florida man's tan. Or did you have a joke or something? Was that a joke that you were setting up?
No, what's the difference?
Okay, a Florida man is.
The accent.
No, there's a lot of New York. New
You
Jersey.
guys are both
Oh,
stupid
baby.
idiots.
Bam, bro.
The
Jersey.
tan? What are you talking about? Jersey Shore? Those guys are the tannest.
Oh, that's
Fake
true.
tan. Snooky,
Adam's very tan today.
What are we talking about,
Riff Raff, and Snooky.
guys?
So
there's plenty
Delmar
of
got
B cups and C cups in Florida. I just want to say, and D's and bigger, as big as you can imagine.
I would love to just carpet bomb that shed you're in with some Agent Orange right now.
Some Squirt.
So Agent Orange is pretty fucked
Squirt.
up. It I believe it was to eradicate the jungle, and they would just spray this over the jungles in Vietnam.
It was like a pesticide or some shit, right?
and it caused untold cases of cancer. In the I've been to Vietnam. There's a Vietnam War museum, and
Okay, William.
there's an entire floor dedicated to the atrocities of the American Army.
Is Rambo in
And
there?
there's
Damn.
giant photographs of babies with like balloon heads and like just weird mangled corpses, and me and my buddy we were just cracking jokes the whole time, just tearing it up. One of the funniest days of my life, really. Just
I'm really glad you got to have that memory, dude.
Adam, and this is what
just
happens when you
being
watch
the ugliest
Bambi
of all Americans.
as a kid.
Yeah, well, that's cool, dude. Glad you had a good trip.
They have like animatronic, not animatronic, but like wax.
What were the snacks like?
Like a hall of presidents, but it's a hall of like napalmed children.
Well, no, they're POW men in like cages, and like they show like how they treated the POWs, like John McCain and stuff, and they're like in these like little rooms,
like
and they're
World at Disney,
like cells. Yeah,
and you're just going through it. That's wild.
But wait,
we're just
so you're
like, this is
saying
all
they show it
bullshit.
from like
This is fucking
check this-
propaganda.
Oh, because you're saying like, oh, he's like just chilling in a room.
This is all bullshit. Well, we were saying that to the photos of the kids who are like
Fake.
Fake
Photoshop.
news.
Okay, Alex Jones.
Bullshit. We never did this.
Your kid didn't get killed in a school shooting.
Yeah,
That's
we were
basically
like,
what
how
you were
The
saying,
Alex Jones of
literally.
the Vietnam War.
yeah. But
That's cool.
we also saw
Fake. This is just Tang. You're licking the powder off of the mannequins.
yeah, the other thing we saw
Make a good
was
squirt joke
Adam,
because you're
we went-
mistaken about squirting.
we went to North Vietnam,
squirt
and
is
they had
a grapefruit.
Right.
If anything, it's pink.
Go ahead. William's telling a story, right?
great cocktail, squirt and vodka. So we went to North Vietnam, and they have we saw where the guerrilla warfare took place, and we saw the traps, and those also have like little animatronic puppets getting like knocked in the holes and like stabbed with like sticks and spikes, and like all the shit Rambo does in this movie is
It's pretty
the
accurate.
warfare tactics of a Vietnamese, which I think is really interesting. It's like
He's the one that's kind of he's like pushed into the woods.
he's the
and
guerrilla
he's gotta
fighter.
improvise. Yeah, guerrilla
Yes.
warfare.
Some of the crazy shit we saw was Vietnamese soldiers would lay on the ground with rifles. And these aren't like soldiers. These are like volunteers. This is a resistance
yeah.
army. They would
Like
lay on the
farmers and
ground
stuff.
with rifles. And as an American plane flew overhead, they would shoot it with a rifle. And sometimes they would take them down. It's like the ultimate version of playing like Fortnite or Call of Duty Warzone or something, where you just have like no weapons, but
Hell yeah.
you're just so good and you just want to win, and you just figure out all these weird little tricks to like take down the Americans. And they just
Yeah, that's how they won. They had like brilliant guerrilla warfare tactics.
Well, there's a lot. Yeah. We also
whooped
they
our
sent-
asses.
They whooped our asses, and that we sent our boys over there with what, those M16, those AKs with those wooden AKs to
M60s.
the most humid climate. Like we fucked that. Like it was operator error
really?
on our end. There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of little.
Hey, you sound like
things.
Rambo in the last scene right now.
well, he doesn't. 'Cause
lot of-
Rambo
A lot of little
has a
things.
very
But we basically fucked up. We could have won. We should have won. It's a real Russia-Ukraine situation.
we should have won.
We should have won. We were
Yeah, I mean,
wrong.
technologically speaking, no, I don't think morally we should have won. We shouldn't have been there to begin
That's not
with.
what you
But
said.
I'm
There's
saying,
no way to win that war.
yeah, there is.
How do you
the only
win
way
a
to win-
war where like the
Become
entire
friends.
population is like, get the fuck
Well,
out of here? Like,
Korea. So
You-
Korea,
you
the
just
same
have
thing
to
happened.
genocide 'em.
Korea had a North and South battle, had armies. Okay. The Northern, the Southern. America was helping the Southern Army. The Soviets and the Chinese are helping the Northern.
because it was all communist stuff, right?
Yeah. Because those North Vietnam, North Korea touch China.
And
But
these
basically-
are not
hold on.
volunteer soldiers, right?
Hold on. The thing is,
Okay.
the way the Korean War ended was a stalemate. Basically, they set up mines in between the border, and it just stopped. And there's been no progress. But it's like, it's kind of like you can't. I don't know if we won that war. I'm just saying that's how it's ended. The Vietnamese War, they were way dumber. The Americans were way stupider, way more arrogant, way older, and they just weren't ready for it. And the Vietnamese were smart and tenacious, and they had already been fighting the French, and they just
had
whooped
more-
their asses.
They had more to lose.
They're like
That's the
Rambo.
brilliant thing about this movie, I think, is like, well, one, like just taking, it's like there's a lot of movies made about like a Vietnam vet coming home and stuff like that, but just like having him like have to redo the
Like
war,
Paul Blart.
but at home. Yeah, it's a lot like Paul Blart, Mall Cop. Having to redo the war at home in like the Pacific Northwest, kind of like a flip side of the Vietnamese jungle. There's a lot of like cool, like smart little like.
Well, it's pretty on the nose.
Well, it becomes a trope. So I think what I was watching it, I was getting a lot of like vibes of Apocalypse Now, like Colonel Kurtz. He's upriver. He's gone native, right? And then you have Martin Sheen. You watch his descent into violence and being like becoming a murderer. And it's like that. You have Apocalypse Now, you have First Blood, and then you have a movie like The Terminator, which comes out 2 years after First Blood. In Terminator, Michael Biehn comes back in time. He's basically doing guerrilla warfare. He's being
Mr. Bean.
And there's lots of like
Hell yeah.
Oh, we're not. Oh, we're just not doing.
we already
bits
did
today.
that joke on the other time we talked about it.
Yeah,
but
it
like,
sounded a lot like.
but
That's kind of why I didn't. But it was fine. I had a good time when that happened.
Yeah,
It was
just
fun
like
to think about.
Terminator 2. It's kind of
Now he-
like the first one.
James Cameron said he was
You're
looking
Mr.
at
Bean, Joe.
Yugoslavian resistance fighters. So there's just like, it seems like this is a thing
There's
that you
lot
saw
of
in Vietnam
resistance fighting.
throughout history.
But also-
it's just
I
like
got-
America
I
did
have
it
a
in the Revolutionary
question.
War. So
I have a
whatever.
question just so we can move because this is me being stupid. Was this a voluntary war, like, or was this a like Rambo was forced to go over and fight?
It was a
what's the
draft.
word?
Yeah, there was a
Vietnam.
draft.
It was
A draft. That's the word. Right?
That's one of the
See,
worst
that's
things
what-
about it.
That what makes the monologue. See, I'm not gonna get into it.
You don't
but
have
that's
family that
why-
got drafted, Ryan?
Not in the Vietnam
you were-
War. Yeah, my grandpa was a weatherman. He was over in Japan and stuff, but he didn't do shit, and he volunteered.
He was a weather
And it-
underground man.
No, he was like a
The
weatherman.
Japanese
No, he
weatherman
was
who
in. He
volunteered
was in
for the American side in the
Korea. He was over
Vietnamese
in
War-
Korea. He was
Vietnam
in
War.
Korea. He's
That's
got some
cool.
fucked up. He had some fucked up stories. He's dead now.
Hey, they need the weather too in the army. Okay, someone
Really?
needs to read the weather to them every
He
day.
did the
like,
weather
it's like a
balloon.
beast.
He wasn't even a scientist or nothing. He just was in charge of like putting like doing the helium and having the. It's kind of a cool job to be honest. He would just stay back and then drop the balloon and it'd pop up and then it'd be like, "It's gonna rain, boys," and then it didn't rain.
Yeah, while your grandfather was doing that, there were guys in
Well,
POW
then he's
camps getting
He's
like
asking me to
fucking
salute his
slashed
ass, and I'm like, "Bro, you were playing with balloons over in Japan."
oh
While
yeah,
people were people were
totally.
getting murdered over in Korea. Salute what?
Should have done.
Like,
Here's a
what?
salute, and then you've done the suck it thing.
So the
So-
Brian Dennehy's
to your
character
grandfather.
as the sheriff, he is supposed to be a Korean war vet who is jealous of the attention that Rambo, a Vietnam
Yeah.
vet, he perceives is getting. After
This whole
Rambo
movie's
finds out,
perception.
yes, right after Rambo finds out, Delmar died, he just wanders the town. He's looking for something to eat. The sheriff is just like really arrogant, good old boy, son of a bitch. He just doesn't like him.
Pegs him as a homeless.
He pegged him?
hates. He goes, he's a
He
drifter.
pegged him. He's like, "I got a home. You might not have a home, but I got a home for this dick. It's gonna be in your butt."
It's fake.
You don't remember that scene? That's what he goes. "You drew first fuck." He pegged first cock. They suck first cock.
So then that whole scene is amazing. The setup in this movie is so great and it moves so fast and it's so crystal clear with like
Yeah,
who these characters are.
Because then it just stops and he explains why it's been.
We'll get to the
Sorry.
monologue.
Sorry,
that's
sorry.
the
We'll
end of the
get to
movie,
the
Ryan.
monologue. So he drives him out of town and Rambo's asking for something to eat. He goes, "Yeah, there's a diner like 30 miles up the road." That's a hell of a walk. 30 miles. Have you ever walked 30 miles in a
Not
day?
not for Rambo. That ain't shit.
Yeah, I've done
Maybe
that a
he
lot
could
to
hitchhike,
eat.
right?
I've actually done that a lot to get some a
Adam,
meal.
you've
So
never
it's-
walked 30 miles
I do it.
in your
pretty
entire
regularly.
life.
I mean, it's okay if he can't do it. It's fine. But
What kind of
the sh-
restaurant do you
the
go
sh-
after a
the
30-mile
shed is-
walk?
The shed is 30 miles after
Outback
away from
Steakhouse?
town.
If there's an Outback Steakhouse, I like to hit that up. I'm pretty hungry, you know.
Just on the freeway in LA, going to
Yeah,
Orange County or
passing
whatever.
Thousands of restaurants. I gotta get to Outback, dude.
You're a big steak guy, right?
I'm a big steak guy.
When was the
You like
last time
big
you ate red
steaks?
meat?
A bloomin' onion guy.
Oh, you just get the bloomin' onion. You're an appetizer guy.
I just go for the apps, actually, to be honest. But they're
Your
really
shoes
good. So
have holes in them. Your shoes are smoking. Your feet are sticking out the bottom.
His toes are
Yeah.
sticking through his toe shoes.
and I
His toe
got
shoes.
a real big appetite for some bloomin' onion. I walk in and I'm like,
I mean,
give me a bloomin' onion.
this Brian Dennehy guy, he
Classic.
could have just taken him to a diner. They could have gotten some
Yeah.
onion rings. They could have had a cup of coffee, maybe some
He
eggs
coulda
and
not been a
bacon.
dick.
He could have just let him do whatever he was doing.
They could have just talked about the war they were in and like the shit.
Yeah,
they
why was
went
he such
through.
like a hater?
Because he's a cop.
He's a good old boy. He's a dumb
He's a
cop.
sheriff. He's a
And he
fat,
didn't like.
stupid
Apparently,
slob
Sylvester Stallone.
that probably
Apparently,
didn't do
Rambo's
shit in
supposed
the
to be
war.
like a what?
War hero. Army. He's like an army Green Beret.
But Rambo is like he's saying like Rambo's like needs to get a haircut and doing like the hippie
Yeah.
vet thing.
Yeah.
He needs to
but his
shave.
hair wasn't that long, to be honest.
You're dirty.
Yeah,
I mean,
Didn't
he
seem
should
really
hide
smart.
it. Well, he
I
says,
bet
"Why
the
are you
sheriff
pushing
didn't
me?
do
Why are you pushing me?"
Yeah.
He just found out his buddy died of cancer, and he's just like,
Agent Orange.
"Hey, you got a bad haircut. You look like a fucking idiot."
Hey, for some friendly advice, get a haircut and take a shower. All right. Hope I helped out. And then he drives away. That's what he said. Hope the ride helped. And then drives away. What a cunt.
And then Rambo just
He's being cunty.
Not
He's
even
like,
like
"You
the
know
30
what?
the 30-mile diner thing. That's not even an issue for me because it's Rambo. I know that dude. That dude could walk on 1 foot 30 miles probably.
plus there's like restaurants in the town and shit.
Yeah.
They're driving by.
That's no, like all that is petty. It's petty. But when he says, hope the ride helped, and then he
Yeah.
drives away, that fat fuck.
You're like, I can't
then
wait
it's
for
like
this guy to die.
And the only word he says is boring. When he repeats, the only word he says in the car is Rambo.
Some people might call
He's
it
like-
boring, but we
he
like
goes-
it that way.
Boring. That's a huge red flag. That's when I would have been like, all right, I'm going to drive you 30 miles to that diner. This guy's crazy.
This is like a Western kind of.
Get
This is
this
like a
guy out of
classic
town.
Western trope.
Yeah, the sheriff. Get out
Yeah.
of my town.
And
This
also
is
the
my
thing with
city.
Rambo being like, there's a whole
But the sheriff wasn't all
archetypes-
bad though.
in Westerns of like the Indian, the half breed,
Yeah.
and they're not of this world, and they have special skills, and they know how to be like, you know,
Track animals and shit. Yeah.
yeah. Rambo kind of has a lot of those skills, but so then when Rambo turns around and walks back on the bridge, the sheriff arrests him and searches him, and he finds that giant knife, and that knife is custom made and designed for the movie. It's not in the book. Stallone came up with the idea. He hired the knife
Brilliant.
maker.
That's brilliant.
Yeah,
That's
if
brilliant.
If
That's
you're
the
an
whole
actor in a
movie,
get
dude.
yourself a knife out of it.
So then he
Cool
gets that
knife.
he confiscates the knife, or he like holds the knife, and then later, cut to maybe 30 minutes later, after he takes out all of the squad in the forest, he has that same knife up to that same cop's neck, and he goes, "I could have killed all of your men, but I didn't. Let it go. Let
Yes.
it go." That's sick. Stallone murdered it. This movie is so good.
And it's like, why is Cobra so bad? You know, Cobra is only 4 years later.
What Cobra's
Stallone is making a character, and his thing is like,
insane.
I'm going to make him have him a cool car.
because the times have changed at that point. Times can change quick in 4 years, right?
I listened to the audio commentary for this movie, and Stallone said the first day he showed up, he was just like, why did I do this movie?
On
This is
Cobra.
no, First Blood. He's like, this is gonna kick my ass. This is gonna suck. And it's very cold. It's shot in Canada. He really has to he's doing like stunts he's never done before, like falling
Yeah.
and kicking and getting bullets are going off, and
He's jacked.
he broke his rib. He's getting injured.
Is he doing
he's
his own stunts? You're saying?
Sometimes, not all the time, there's a lot of stuntmen in the movie, but like he's mixing and matching, and like he's getting hurt, he's getting cold, he's getting filthy. He's getting laid on the set of Cobra. He's having fun. He's banging Bridget Nielsen.
Cobra's a phony.
Kind of reminded me of The Revenant a little bit. That is also like a notoriously like everybody was completely miserable in that movie.
Yes.
Which one? The Revenant?
With DiCaprio.
And that's why they won. It sounds like pain.
You just don't want to be out in the cold woods making a movie. Like there's nowhere to go. You can't have like a little warm. I mean, maybe you do have a warm trailer stuff, but
there's nothing out there, man. He said like all these locations were hard to get to. There are little roads. It's a lot of setup.
It's almost like people live here. These celebrities go to like a normal town that people live at day to day. And they're like, it was harsh environments. It was cold. I didn't have oysters on the half shell.
He has no shirt on. He's wearing a tank top.
Well, then write a shirt into the script, you dingus. Write some sleeve. Like
really
you're creating this. You're creating the world.
We'll get to that. So then
create
a character that's wearing a shirt.
Some sleeves.
The next great scene in the movie is he gets taken to the jail, and then he meets a bunch of just asshole cops, sheriffs. They're just such dicks. Sheriffs are notoriously shittier people than even cops. You know, cops.
Yeah, they're like the Punisher guys for sure.
Sheriffs have a lot of autonomy.
They're like, yeah.
They have less oversight. They have more of a turf kind of thing.
And they keep their budget keeps going up and up, and they just keep getting like military surplus shit.
Well, that might be just California.
No.
My sister-in-law's
all over the country.
My sister-in-law's uncle is rerunning for sheriff, and I think he might have lost last week. And he ran unopposed for 30 years, 27 years.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
Yeah, and then but
they get comfortable.
He had no fucking tanks. This is in Nebraska. He had no tanks. He had no RPGs. He didn't have a surplus of military equipment at his disposal.
He's fucking up because they're just like
he had a Corvette, and he raced with my dad down the street once, going pretty fast.
Sounds like an out of control maniac, and I'm glad he's out of office.
No, I think you just need to move out of California, where 70% of your taxes go to your cops.
Most of it goes to their fucking retirement because they make like 80% of their salary for the rest of their lives.
That's why they should die on the street.
So
save that taxpayer's dollar.
What should happen is they should get their asses kicked through windows and karate chopped.
Was that a 2-story kick?
Leg swiped.
Was that a Rambo 2-story building though?
We're not there.
That he pushed this cop? Okay.
So Rambo is getting cleaned up. Not clean him up. They just want to clean him up. They want to shave him. They want to cut his hair. They want to give him a bath. It's all very humiliating.
They want to strip him down and spray his ass.
For
big hose.
All he wanted to do was get something to eat in the town. He has done nothing wrong. They're fucked up cops. We're completely on Rambo's side. Stallone was so good in the first 2 or 3 scenes where he's just like, why are you pushing me? Why are you pushing me? Like, you have so much sympathy for him. If Dennehy is believable as this character, and he's also charismatic enough to not be to be hateable. But then Jack Starrett shows up, and that's the guy with the big mustache who has a sniper rifle later. So that guy's a director, actor, and stuntman. He directed a bunch of movies I've seen at New Beverly. He made a movie called The Losers, Hollywood Man.
Oh, The Losers is great.
Race with the Devil. He makes these low budget exploitation. The Losers is the movie that Bruce Willis is watching in his hotel room in Pulp Fiction when he wakes up, and he goes like,
the biker movie, right?
It's like motorcycle. It's guys in Vietnam with machine guns on motorcycle shooting Vietnamese soldiers. It's a ridiculous drive-in movie. It made no sense when I saw it. It was like almost incomprehensible.
I've only seen
it's pretty good.
Well, I've only seen it on the little VHS at my job on the little tiny black and white TV.
He sprays them with a hose. Just a full-on fire hose.
Why do they have a fire hose inside of the jail cell? Is that like standard?
That's their ass spraying hose.
Why is that? Why do they have that?
When they need to spray an ass, a nice
For
toned
fires. It's a
You know
fucking
what-
fire
you know-
hose.
But
It's
why
for
is it
when the
inside
building
of the
gets on
building?
fire.
That's what fire departments are for. They bring the hose to the location. Why is it in? Man, cops suck, dude. Firefighters are dope.
Fire department surplus. Cop police departments got it.
Why is that there? It's there for torture.
David Caruso's in here. He's awesome. Playing a young cop. With his
It'd be
red
cool
hair
if
and pale
Sylvester
face.
Stallone made sure to in the rewrite to add the scene where he gets his ass sprayed.
Well,
Now
they just
spread those
popped it right up
cheeks.
his-
And he
goes,
puts the hose
"Spray
right
it,"
up the butthole.
and you hear a
Yeah, he writes that. in.
and then he,
He has
and then he
flashbacks
has
to
a
Vietnam,
flashback.
to Vietnamese soldiers doing that with an elephant trunk.
They're good flashbacks. They're not bad flashbacks. They're good.
Yeah,
but
that's
it's
one of the
still
good ones.
Triggering. It's
When they
triggering in a sense that it makes them come.
They try to
So-
shave him with a straight razor, and he has a flashback to being in Vietnam where he's literally crucified and getting his chest cut with a giant like machete.
Which I believe they would do.
Yeah, this
Crucify
I've seen that
people?
If you
flashback
caught
and
if you got a
everything.
if you caught a white dude that was from the military that came from a Christian country in the jungle and started fucking you up, if you caught this dude, you're gonna crucify him. Ironically,
See, I think they've just seen Deer Hunter a few years ago, and they're just getting
Yeah.
ideas from other movies and Deer Hunter and Apocalypse Now, like
But I saw that flashback. He's like getting hurt, like
Rolling
abused by
Thunder.
the cops. He's getting abused by the Vietnamese. Maybe it's him.
it seems like it.
Maybe
he
there's
should start
something about
he should learn
Rambo.
how to. He
Maybe
needs
he's not
to
a
learn
good
how to
soldier.
communicate. He's a
Yeah.
great soldier. He needs to learn how to communicate.
Maybe he's
That's
being
what the-
annoying or something. We
that's
don't
what
know.
the
We don't know what he
monologue's
was
about.
doing in
get
Vietnam.
a haircut, Rambo.
Yeah, the Vietnamese just wanted him to get a haircut.
Shave your head.
Or
He just had a
maybe
little dirty ass that needed to get
or
sprayed.
maybe don't just pick up 18-year-old kids off the street and then turn them into a fucking insane murder machine and then give them an award and say it's the Medal of Honor and then bring them back. Maybe don't do that.
Well, Rambo gets scared. He
Wow.
flips out. He beats the shit out of everybody.
Society, maybe don't do that.
He's
You're
leg
saying-
sweeping.
You're talking about society now. This is getting wild.
Got your ass, society.
Ryan got society.
Got your ass.
He kicks Brian Dennehy for real. That's a real Brian Dennehy stunt when he kicks him. He falls
Nice.
down. Ugh.
Out the window.
Good job, Denny.
Not out the window. He just kicks him.
No,
in the hallway.
but he pushes that cop.
He hangs
and
on
then-
a prison cell and then kicks Brian Dennehy.
yeah,
and then
yeah, swinging.
the
kick.
guy he throws out the window is.
But that's
stunt
two
man.
stories, right? He's on the second
Yeah.
story. So
Doesn't die.
that dude could have died.
Doesn't die.
He could.
It's not
have
attempted
died.
murder. It's self-defense. They were trying to shave him, Ryan. They drew first blood. They tried to shave him. This is why Rambo's
No,
allowed
they
to go
They
crazy
drew first
and
blood
act like a
when-
fucking
when he-
maniac.
They drew first blood when he got in the cop's car. That's where the first blood is
Oh.
drawn.
First
That's literally
blood,
where
you're
it's-
saying it's like I didn't do it. It's not me. They did it.
No,
They started
Okay,
it.
they
the
sprayed
first
him with a
blood is
hose.
drawn
That's pretty
when
bad.
The first
Should be
blood
called
is
Rambo. They
drawn
started
when he
it.
goes, "Why are you pushing me?" That's the first blood.
It should be called Rambo. Get a lawyer. What are you? Come on.
Get a hobby,
Yeah.
bro.
Make some. You don't need to be friends with a lawyer. Just look him up in the phone book.
Start playing Magic the Gathering or something. You don't need to like.
No, build tree houses. You're
D&D.
good with wood. You're good with whittling wood. Build a goddamn tree house or something for the community.
Dude,
Live
I
in
would have
the
loved to
woods.
be a
Make
this is kinda like
spikes.
Rio in Street Fighter, Ryan, how he was just kind of wandering around. This is my dream. is to just
Literally.
kind of be somebody
It's
who's able to
gross,
wander
dude.
around. And
You
not
should get a
immediately
haircut.
Just like
Some friendly
drifter.
fall
advice,
apart.
Adam. Some friendly advice.
Yes.
You should cut your hair and take a shower.
Yeah.
Dude,
Get out of
I'm
the
not
shed.
letting you spray my ass.
Honestly, Adam, you should grow your hair into a late 80s mullet, like a Mel Gibson Lethal Weapon 2 mullet,
That'd be cool.
You got curly
Yeah.
hair, right?
Oh yeah,
or like a Dennis
I
Miller.
could do it.
Keep it going.
I mean, that's
Long in the
basically
back.
where you're basically describing my mom's hair. So I would just look like my mom. So
That's fine. Is your mom hot?
She has A cups.
of course. Of
Oh,
course.
she's an
No.
A. So A plus.
My mom does not have A cups, dude.
She's got A cups.
What?
Like all Florida women. So they try to shave
Double Ds,
Rambo.
baby.
He's not having it.
Is
He
it
runs out.
A
He
for alligator.
Yeah.
alligator cups, alligator eggs. But Rambo finds a guy with an awesome dirt bike that he just takes out immediately, and then now he's on this
Yeah.
sweet ass dirt bike
We're
doing
5 minutes into
stunts,
the movie,
doing
Motorcycle
wheelies.
chasing.
and
doing
we're
wheelies.
literally 15 minutes into the movie, and there's
That's a
like
high
dope
speed,
ass high speed chase.
You know, you feel the speed, which is, you don't do that. You don't feel it that often with stuff. It's like, you know, it's not, a lot of times it's like shot and like edited around. So you kind of, it feels maybe faster than it actually is. But this
Yeah.
one, it's like it's
Seems
not
practical.
There's
it's not
no
like
music.
hidden in editing or anything
Oh,
like that. Yeah,
that's
it's
what
just
it
like
is, huh?
shots
There's
of
no
the
music.
motorcycle just like flooring it.
They're
It's
going
not
very
slow-mo,
fast.
It's not fat. Yeah, it's not slow mo, not fat, sped up.
They're long
the way
shots, and
that-
we're seeing
I
everything.
love this because you learn about the sheriff. You learn the sheriff's like gumption in this. This scene
Yeah,
makes
you'd be like,
this is
okay.
this is a scene where you're like, oh, this guy really is after Rambo. Like
This
he's
guy has
driving
a high
he's
level
taking
gumption level.
he's taking this car like fucking jumping down hills and shit with a. I would have gave up immediately the second he goes off the
What about
highway
Rambo?
with a dirt bike. I would have been like, yeah, all right.
What about
He's
Rambo
gone.
over
Yeah,
the
you just
train
light-
tracks,
light a
jumping
blunt.
40 feet?
Just keep driving.
Well, at least, and then he's doing a lean back. He's doing a straight up BMX because that's
Yeah.
what you got to do when you do that. And it's like, who taught him that in the Green Berets?
That's what they're
When was
doing.
there a dirt bike jumping lesson
Through the
in the
jungle,
military? Yeah,
they just rode on dirt bikes, just taking out
If
the
we would've-
Vietnamese.
if we would have done that, we would have won Vietnam. But we
Just
didn't.
put on a dynamite motocross show.
That would have been sick.
Rambo, get a motorcycle, then you won't be wandering these highways.
I
So
bet Rambo can juggle, like really good. Like
Oh yeah.
like
definitely.
weird, like it's not cool when he does it at a dinner party, but it's like impressive. But it's like, okay, stop juggling.
You're like, okay,
Rambo.
stop. We got it.
He's like, no,
Green
no.
Beret.
Throw me a wallet. And you throw him your wallet, and he's like, adds it to the juggle.
Yeah. Just
That's
card-
how he
your credit
relates,
cards flying
non-verbally.
everywhere.
Yeah, he's.
I bet he's really
autistic.
good at darts and like bar sports.
That's what I'm saying. He's good at everything. I bet he's good
Shuck.
at rip sticking.
What's the one
It's
where
like
you
me.
slide the thing on the sanded
Shuffleboard.
shuffleboard?
That's a fun bar one.
Skee ball. I bet Rambo
I
crushes
like it.
skee
I don't
ball.
know.
Or the basketball game.
Nah, unicycle.
Yeah, he's just
I
at an
bet-
arcade, just fucking
think-
like destroying.
I'm
getting
talking
sold
think
hella
something
tickets.
weird, man. I bet Rambo goes to a freak show and he sees my buddy the lizard man swallow a sword and he goes, oh, I could swallow a flaming sword. And then he swallows a flaming sword. Rambo can just
Yeah,
do
he goes to
anything.
like a Tijuana donkey show, and he's like, I could get fucked
I
by
could
a
fuck
donkey.
that. I could
better
get
than this
fucked by a
lady."
donkey.
He's like,
He
I could fuck
does
that
it.
girl, and he just rapes her like a donkey.
Makes
And he
like
puts a
weird
ping pong
stick
ball up his
dildo that
asshole and-
snaps out of the ground.
He starts shooting ping pong
Yeah, he does the ping
balls
pong trip.
on everybody's drink. They're like,
You're like,
"Ew."
oh, stop, dude.
Boop, boop,
Fuck.
boop, 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 boop. It's popping
He
around.
makes the whole song.
I'm trying
I
to
saw this
enjoy
in
my donkey
Vietnam.
show.
I'm having flashbacks. That's what he,
Him
The
doing
ping
a
pong
donkey
show?
show in Vietnam.
that's what he says before he does something fucked up. I'm having flashbacks, and then he
You're
murders
like,
a whole
oh my
town.
god, here we go.
That's that stunt
That's
where
his
the
catchphrase.
Brian Dennehy's car
No,
just slides and
I'm
rolls
having
over
flashbacks.
I love that.
haphazardly. That
Yeah,
was
It
that's
real.
seems
cool.
like it's
That was
Yeah,
accidental.
that was
Oh.
obviously real. Oh, really?
accidental. That's what I was gonna say. I was like, oh, it seems like they were like, okay, well shit, we gotta end the scene this way now. You know, and
They
it's
just
like
put
had an
Brian Dennehy in the
improvised
car.
ending. Yeah, totally. That's like good shit.
To me,
Oh.
it seemed it either took 10 takes or this is perfect. I'm gonna go get something to put in my tequila. It seemed oh my god, that's shutting the
Complete darkness after that.
We got an
Sorry, don't
omelet
mind me.
toast.
Yeah, I haven't had breakfast yet.
It's breakfast for you guys.
I had breakfast and lunch.
I haven't ate today. I've had tequila.
so
I
cool.
woke
I've had
up,
breakfast
like
and
5 minutes
lunch.
before we started recording. I got out of the bed.
I got a wife that intermittent
Damn,
fasts, so you know,
killing
we
me.
My
start a little late.
Oh,
girlfriend's
yes.
parents got us
I
an
feel like
espresso
Rambo.
machine, and now we're just making espressos and cappuccinos.
Yeah, probably
How-
at your butt.
How many you
dude.
had
That's-
today? Good
Yesterday I
boy.
had 5. and I had the worst headache ever at night. But today I just had one cappuccino.
That's how you know it's
delicious.
working.
But yeah, so Rambo is hiding in the woods. They're chasing him. They show up with a helicopter and there's a sniper rifle. It's Jack Starrett. He's awesome. The helicopter pilot's not into it because the guy just is trying to shoot to kill him, which is not their orders. Rambo is defenseless, so he takes a rock, throws it at the helicopter,
Bing.
knocks the guy
Got
out.
him.
He falls down and dies, and then what? Why does Rambo jump? Because he just has nowhere to go? No, he jumps first, then knocks him down.
I really like
The jumping stunt is
like
amazing.
how this movie just it's like, you know, starts with he has like nothing at the police station. He escapes. It's like writing a scene that's like this
like a video
one
game.
guy is going to escape an entire police station, and then what happens? He finds a motorcycle. Then what happens? They're chasing him and stuff. Then what happens? He's in the woods. He has nothing. He's climbing. He's like, you know, like only has like the clothes on his back, but there's a helicopter guy. What happens? He throws a rock, and then he like gets the guy's clothes. It's like so like piece by piece and like built like,
Yeah.
you know,
And then
logically,
sorry.
like,
And he's trapped.
that's it.
And then now he's trapped in the woods.
But then in that monologue, I know we're gonna get there later, sooner or later. But in that monologue, he describes it all. In that what you call a corny PTSD monologue or whatever, he's like, it never stops. It never turns off. And then you like that's like he describes why it's constant, why the whole he describes the whole movie, basically.
Yeah, I know.
But you know, like
it's the last scene in the movie. He talks
that's
about
the kind of scene that would be like the another brilliant thing about this movie is like you're gonna make a movie about a Vietnam vet with like PTSD and stuff. Like most people would make some like drama where he's like having trouble fitting back into society. That monologue would appear
he's got ED.
Coming home with Bruce Dern. Coming home with Bruce Dern.
Brother
has this whole monologue, exactly what you're talking about, Adam. Yes.
Yeah, but instead of it being this like kind of fucking like lame drama, it's a fucking awesome action movie where the PTSD triggers
correct.
You know,
how long is this movie?
93 minutes. Days? It's sleek.
No. The time frame in the movie, is it 3 days? 4 days?
Yeah, it's a nice Monday to Wednesday romp.
So he literally does he destroys this entire town in like 72 hours once he declares war.
Man, so he's really having a bad Monday.
It's not a big
Everybody
town.
hates Mondays, but
he takes out the National Guard.
So, but it makes me question, and I said it in the group text. Now I'm kind of swerving, but what was the purpose of that sheriff's department did absolutely nothing. The city elected 15 people to be their sheriff, and one guy literally pushed him out the window, kicked him, ran
he says
through.
It's my town. Brian Dennehy makes it personal. He says it's my town.
Yeah.
The buck stops with me, Buster. You don't fucking tell me what to do.
But they were useless. The sheriff's department was completely so. These
are called good old boys. These are shitty sheriffs.
No, I get it, but
you know they're like
never
your uncle
dealt with like
whatever.
Good old boys or young old boys.
Never dealt with a foe,
young bad
foe.
boys. I don't care. I think the whole department's pointless.
They just like arrest drunk drivers and like harass black people when they wander into town.
Yeah, it's not preventative. It's like should be reactionary, and these guys.
This movie
did not react well.
It's kind of like being like, what if a white guy was treated like a black guy?
Well, that's
for the sin of being drafted into the war.
So then maybe you should take that plate of food and go give it to the guy on the corner who was probably a POW in Vietnam, Adam.
Well, Adam, he is Italian, so that is basically the story of the Italian American.
Also, if somebody
one of the most victimized races in American history,
Italians.
Yeah.
I just did Guido Luigi for Halloween as a funny joke.
There's not even another race that could even compare to the plight of the Italian American.
Yeah.
The Italian race.
Like I literally just did that Guido Luigi bit on stage and nobody even batted an eye. It's disgusting.
That was basically
How easy it
blackface.
is, literally, and how easy it is to attack the most discriminated against. Are you guys Italian?
I am a quarter Sicilian.
I thought you were
I don't have
Mexican.
the honor.
Well, that rumor
William's
is
kind
not
of like
true.
a racial chameleon.
When
Which
you do a
quarter? Is it the
podcast
gr-
with two
Is it the greasy quarter?
two guys who don't listen, pay attention.
No, you confuse don't listen
William,
with don't care.
Why are you lumping me?
I
in?
don't. I'm not listening. I'm just don't care to retain that information.
Ryan's pissed because he had to wake up a half hour before we did this.
I'm not pissed. I'm drunk now. I'm drunk and high.
Oh hell yeah, dude.
You look like Kurt Cobain right before he shot himself. It's a cool
I feel
look.
like it.
If you can sustain that look without shooting yourself, though, that's a good look.
What if Kurt Cobain was just looking
Edgy.
for a cocktail and they was like, "Oh, this is a big drink. Put this big drink in my mouth. I'm thirsty."
I'm so thirsty. What do I press this button? I put the drink in my mouth.
Courtney Love is putting it in his hand.
Yeah. Whatever.
Ryan,
Yeah.
don't date Courtney Love. That's my only advice.
See that
Dude,
sword back
you got to
there?
stay away from.
I would not
Courtney.
use a gun. That's the sword that's gonna kill me.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's the only one that can.
Make sure you like leave it in the middle of your room, like pointing up. Sometimes, just you never,
I mean, I play with it like that.
I bet Rambo
I
could
can't
juggle
die, man.
machetes.
I bet Rambo could beat up Machete.
So once he gets
Hey,
into the
hey, hey.
woods, it's a little
I'd
more.
like to see that movie with who's Machete?
Oh, there's one thing that's interesting is that Danny Trejo. So like after he knocks the guy out of the helicopter and he sees his bloody face and there's like that cool sound effect of like, oh, he's getting flashbacks again to Vietnam. He grabs his jacket off the corpse and then runs away. But then they said they didn't like the look of him in the jacket. So they didn't make him wear the jacket, but he would
he
need
was-
to
that's
wear the
interesting.
jacket. So Stallone's arms are out and they're all buffed and greased for like the rest of the movie. And the other thing is, you know, that piece of cloth he finds, that canvas that he slices and he makes like
The
a
first thing
makeshift
he finds,
poncho.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was actually on the set. And they would have to be very careful with it because there was no replacement. So they had to like maintain that dirty piece of canvas. And then he like hung it up in his house and like he has all his movie props and shit and awards.
That's actually
and stuff.
kind of cool.
Wait,
That's
what?
kinda-
Hold on a second.
So that
Sylvester
was
Stallone
hung up
has
that
a
dirty-
house full of props.
Yes.
He like lives
can-
in
you
a
can see
planet
on
Hollywood,
Instagram.
basically.
Yeah.
He
Go
lives
on
in his own
Instagram.
personal planet Hollywood.
Yes. Yes.
Why wouldn't you? I would do
Dude,
that.
that guy, that was a passion project.
Called Narcissus.
Planet Hollywood was a real passion project for Stallone.
You got to be
Like movie
proud of that,
props.
though, man. Because
He shits on everybody except
but
for
I'll tell you
himself
that I'll tell you
in the
the
commentary.
The look,
The rest of the
the-
crew and cast.
the
Basically,
look of the movie
Nice.
would not be as good if he was in that sheriff's jacket the whole movie.
it's true.
Yeah, but like the
That
movie's
tarp
so
was
about
iconic, or,
following
like-
the logic. Like,
And then he uses that tarp to do the torch
know.
to get.
It's
through
not
the
about the
rats.
logic at this point because I realized it's
No,
all about the character.
But I didn't even read
the
I
character
didn't
of
even
Rambo
realize
is
that happened though until
is
you just
the-
said that.
the
I clocked it.
lifeblood.
I was like, wait. Oh, I was like, oh,
I missed
yeah, that
that
makes sense. He's
continuity.
doing the survival, smart
Yeah,
survival.
I
shit.
see him take the jacket
No,
No, I
off.
taking
clocked
the
that, but then
jacket.
I didn't think about
But then
it.
I was
He
like,
wasn't
where's the
wearing
jacket?
it. Yeah, I was also
You
playing
don't.
Pokemon.
So I was thinking about this, Ryan. The reason why you don't think about it is because he doesn't put it on. If he put it on,
Facts.
that would be hard to cut and that'd be hard to like wrap your head around. But he just grabs it, so it's like
Could they write it off as some like military thing too? Like it's respectful to take off the jacket so they can find his dog, his badge or whatever, his patches.
No, they
I
could have
mean,
had a
I
scene
don't
where he
know.
like
No, I'm making this shit up, but
they could have had a scene where he like puts it on and like sees himself in a mirror and he's like, I don't like the way this looks. Then
he
takes
has a
it off
mirror in
and he-
that cave.
okay, we
in
gotta
the
we gotta
mine.
move
Rips his
along because
sleeves
we're
off.
running
Yeah.
out of time. So
I got all
the next
day,
thing-
baby.
the next thing that shows up is Richard Crenna as Trouter. And now he's the guy who talks like this with the cool beret. He shows
Yeah.
up really fast. I mean, how long
The
you're like
Green
asking
Beret.
how much time is going by? I mean, this guy shows up in Oregon, knows about the
It's-
story.
It's almost like he's been tracking Rambo, the guy he created. It's almost like he knows at all times what his soldiers are doing, and Rambo's the last one alive.
and he's just
No, he
observing
doesn't know
Real
that
Nick-
one of them died of cancer, Ryan.
He
Yeah.
didn't say he didn't know. He also
says he doesn't know.
Yeah, he
pretended to.
said, he's like, what? Rambo's like,
no, what happened to any of them?
Rambo
He's not
tells
paying
him.
any attention to them.
Well, then
He's
at
like
the and
abandoned
then at
them.
the end he goes. I mean, I'm the close. He was about to double. He was gonna stab Rambo in the back. He goes,
Yes.
I'm the closest thing the
I could do
family's
it.
got, so I'm gonna use
I
that.
think he
against
wanted
him."
to like neutralize the
No, he's Nick
situation.
Fury. He's Nick Fury.
Yes.
He's all,
he would
he's
kill. He
all-knowing.
hints at killing Rambo.
He hints at killing. He literally. It's not even a hint. It's pretty blatant.
Neutralizing him. Any
No, he
means
says if
necessary.
anybody's gonna
Any
do
means
it,
necessary.
it's gonna be
So
me.
this actor, Richard Crenna, he showed up with one
I'm not
weekend
surprised that
of
he
notice.
shows up. Oh Jesus!
Kirk Douglas was
I am
originally
surprised.
cast. Kirk Douglas was originally cast, costumes fitted, on set, ready to go. And then Kirk Douglas pulls out a screenplay that he has rewritten and has come up with a new ending where at the end of the film, Rambo escapes out of the police station. And then you see Kirk Douglas wearing a bandana in the back of a police car because Rambo's driving a police car away. And then he was going to like kill Rambo. And then Stallone was like, I don't think that's going to fly. Like, I don't think we should be doing that. And then like
This is awesome.
I'm not.
Kirk
gonna
Douglas just
die.
is like, well, then I quit. I will not do the movie. I'm quitting. I'm turning down the money. I'm not doing the movie.
It's a cool move.
And so they had to hire this guy who was doing a Broadway play. And then this is all in Stallone's commentary. It's very funny when he talks about it. He's like, so he was playing like a homosexual doctor in like a city, and he had an effete voice when he first showed up. He had like he was saying like he was acting gay. And then Stallone had to
Because of his
tell him
Broadway
like,
role.
yeah, like you have to deepen your voice. And like this guy had no preparation. So that first scene with him and Brian Dennehy, he's like, God didn't make him. I made him. He's learning his lines on the fly. Like he really doesn't know his lines at all. And he said
He
after that
crushed it.
scene, he could have more time to read his lines, but it was like
He
that shit
crushed
happens
it.
with actors so often.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I only
But-
did
Quick
that
hires
one-
like
I
that,
only
though?
did- I literally only did that one movie, and literally every day I didn't have the right script. And they
True,
would
but
hand
you
me
knew years in
the
advance you were
little-
going to do that movie.
Well,
you knew,
because COVID hit and I had like a year to read a script.
I'm just saying with actors, a lot of times they get hired the night before. Big
Oh, yeah.
parts.
Yeah, day
It's-
Hey
play.
guys, you talking about the biz? This is how
Freelancing.
it goes.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm on call,
Listen-
baby. You need
listen-
an actor?
for
Call
pros.
call
If
Billy
you're a
Boy.
pro, no big deal. Call Billy Boy.
You need Adam. You need a big galoot in your movie. Get Adam. You could be a
Hey.
cop.
Yeah,
Call Adam. He's probably in his shed anyways.
I'm
You need
happy
cool-
to be the galoot in your movie.
You need a cool guy with attitude. Call Ryan.
Do I got an attitude? Wait,
You
I'm
got
cool.
attitude.
You're wearing sunglasses.
Yeah, you're a cool guy
No,
with
I'm-
attitude,
yeah,
bro.
because you guys.
Hold on.
you
Do I
get
got
one-
an attitude?
You get one version of me. You get only one version. I'm a complex person.
Damn.
I'm like
You get one version of you.
You have a-
complex.
You have you have another version, like a homosexual doctor
minus the diploma,
with a high voice.
Hello.
minus the
Okay.
PhD.
Richard Crenna's in this.
I'm a homosexual
Minus the doctor part.
minus the doctrine.
He's in this notorious TV movie from the early 80s and late 70s called The Rape of Richard Beck, where he plays a cop who is raped by like 3 gangsters in a sewer. It's on
I'm a-
YouTube.
I'm a
Hilarious
hom-
idea.
It's
A
on
cop gets
YouTube.
raped?
Yeah.
This is an amazing idea.
The
for
Shield
a-
ended
wrote
up doing a
this and they-
story of
yeah.
this.
Oh, okay.
Well, there was this thing in the 70s, in the early 70s, it came out that
What are you so
prisoners
obsessed
were
with rape, dude?
getting raped.
Yeah.
This came out. This was like kind of unknown. And
Why do
so
you
in the
know so much
70s,
about
there was
rape,
this
man?
like all this social talk of
Because he's
like,
been
well,
raped many times.
I'm a rapist.
That's fine, but I'm leaning more towards.
Oh,
that.
it's okay, Ryan. No, it's okay, William. You don't have to pretend like
I'm the
you were the
rapist.
rapist instead
Think
of the
about it,
person who was raped.
William.
I raped. I liked it.
Think about
That's what
Bill
I said.
Cosby, Bill Cosby, William
prison.
Cosby, William Cosby, William, Bill Cosby, rapist. William is Bill
Mendoza. Bill Mendoza, the rapist.
See? I mean,
Wait, William Mendoza. You're not Bill Mendoza, the rapist, are you?
No.
I
you
also
have a big mustache.
anybody listening, I just hypnotized them to picture you as a rapist. That's what
I said I
doing.
was a rapist before you did all that.
You
And
reprogrammed
that
our minds.
solidified my hypnotism.
You were
Yeah.
listening.
You scrambled our brains.
Said the three of us running around trying to make our rape jokes. All three of us are like, William's the
me, no
rapist.
mine.
We're all making the same joke. Talking over
That
Oh, I'm
each
saying
other.
you're the person
Yeah.
who was raped.
Oh,
and
we're
you're
doing
trying to
jokes?
compensate and lie and say that you were the rapist. That was my rape joke that I was trying to get in. But it's
Well,
okay.
anyway,
It's-
Richard Crenna also, his clothes didn't fit.
William raped himself, the ultimate rapist.
Apparently, Kirk
whoa.
Douglas's pants were too short.
that's a
Real
complex, man.
Ouroboros. It's a
Oh,
real
really? That's
Ouroboros.
pretty funny.
So he had to wear a big, so they put that big coat on him to cover up his clothes, which are all ill fitting.
The guy who wrote himself as being the hero at the end left.
Well, I
and then
quit.
The guy who replaced him had to have a had
So
to
they just used
put his
the- they
pants
used
on and
the
they were incredibly
fucking pea
short.
coat.
That's pretty funny.
They just used the pea coat to cover it up.
Yeah.
I thought that guy killed it.
You're going to
He
need
was
one
a
Yeah, he's
thing.
perfect
good.
general. He was a good
A
general.
lot of
He
He
almost
body
is like-
bags.
It's like when
He's
a
all the best
character actor
lines.
gets it's like when a character actor gets the role that they were kind of made for,
Instead of the
opposed
movie
to like
star
a movie star
idiot.
playing one of the roles.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
and then because like that he's like iconic in this role. Almost,
I
if
would
not.
say he's the one
He's
that
in the
makes
sequels
Rambo
also.
so legendary.
Yeah.
Because you said he has the best lines, which all the everything he says just like solidifies Rambo's legend.
Yes. He explained, him and Brian Dennehy, those scenes kind of keep the dialogue moving and happening because Rambo's silent and by himself. And those two guys have to talk a lot, even though there's no reason for him
Well,
to keep
there's a
talking to
lot of
Brian
waiting.
Dennehy. He should be talking to like the governor. He should be talking to like all sorts of people and trying to corral
Right.
this case. But it's
That's
just
what
like,
I'm
well, these
saying.
are
I
our
think he's
characters,
watching.
so we got to keep our
If-
characters.
I think he's just watching. He's the
Where's the
Nick-
mayor?
William is saying it doesn't make sense that he's talking to the
No,
small
I
town
know.
sheriff, but-
I'm making up my own reasons for it to make sense.
I taught him to suck cock, to kill.
You know,
Period.
And he goes, "Whoa,
Brian Dennehy's like,
I
"Wait,
got a
what was that? The
PhD.
first one?"
I taught him how to suck cock." Like, whoa! You're on Rambo. You're not on Broadway, bro. He just keeps mixing his. I told him to suck. I taught him to suck cock.
Yeah, totally.
What if that guy sang all of his lines?
That's the
You're
play.
gonna need some body bags.
I love the theater. So
Is that what he was doing?
Yeah, and Stallone was like, "Hey, you gotta tone it down,
I don't
buddy.
know
You act a
about
little
this,
gay.
I'm about to
Gay
be
guy
Cobra.
over
I have a
here.
lower voice when you're saying I suck cock.
You probably like it if I got down on my knees and just took this out of your pants, put it in my mouth, right? You like
Is
that,
that
don't
used
you?
to love?
Grab my hair.
This is on the commentary. You're saying? Telling
Grab
us?
my hair. You say grab my hair, not
Grab
pull
my
it.
hair.
Grab my hair.
Well, he
Loosely
wants it to be
grab
a
my
little
hair.
rough. To get into character, it needs to be a little rough.
I downloaded Stallone's porno. I was watching that. It's pretty funny.
He's in a
Yeah,
porno?
doesn't he have he has a pretty average penis, right?
I can imagine,
It's
based on the
very big. Look
Expendables.
at that huge cock. The commentary is great. He does it. He's like,
He's
"Look at
the
my cock."
Oh, on the
Commentary.
porn?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
he's proud of it. He has props.
You haven't
he has
heard
all,
that?
He has all the.
Okay.
He has like the dirty sheets and stuff.
Yeah.
He definitely didn't try to suppress that movie after he got famous at him. He's proud of it. Has the props at Planet Hollywood.
Again, this is.
He's
I
gonna
think
come
Look at my
Stallone
huge.
does-
Look at my huge cock. It's like
Wow, that's so huge. I am
It's really
yeah,
bad
like I think
Stallone.
Stallone deserves a biopic. He's like a regular guy who made himself a movie star with an average dick. He's like a major success.
well, he's not
story.
very tall.
This is the American dream.
Yeah, you just have money, man. That's all it takes.
Rocky.
He didn't have money.
Well,
he
the
he
thing
was
is,
sleeping in his car when he made Rocky. He sold his dog to make, and like he made Rocky, and then he bought the
True.
dog back.
Rocky is his biopic in a way. It's like it's a rags to riches story, and it's his rags to riches actual life.
Oh, like the saga, Rocky saga. You mean?
I'm just saying, Rocky. That is
Expendables is his best work, though, and I'm not even being ironic.
Expendables 2, if you ask me.
Truly,
Chan?
truly, Expendables 2 is
So he
maybe
shits
his
all-
best work.
Stallone
And
shits all over.
I'm not making a joke.
Why is that, Ryan?
Understood.
The cast he brings together, like everything about no other actor could do. It was like Fast and the Furious before Fast and the Furious was popping off.
What about Dirty
Wait,
Dozen?
Jackie is in that movie?
What about Dirty Dozen?
Jackie couldn't be in that movie.
Jackie, I actually saw a
Jet Li
screening of
was in
Super
it,
Cop
right?
at the Academy Theater in
it
LA
was-
with
it was-
Jackie.
He told us the
Ryan.
story. He told us the story.
Oh, well, he was saying, that, and in that thing, he said that he was talking to Stallone, and Stallone wanted him to be in Expendables, but he wasn't sure.
He said,
So I
"I
guess
don't
it
want
never
no trouble.
happened.
I don't want no trouble."
So
that's
there's
what
an
he said.
That's what
Expendables 4
Jackie
coming out.
says in every interview.
Get excited, people. So Stallone in the
Is it
commentary
really?
shits all over the Yahoo guys with the
Spark one
bazooka.
after
He's
that.
like, this
Smoke
is
it
like
if
the
you got
worst
'em.
acting in the movie. I hate these actors. I wish this scene is like a sitcom. It's all bad.
Who?
Those
Who?
guys with the bazooka, the National Guardsmen.
Oh,
like,
the National Guard. Those guys are
Oh,
cool.
It was like a sitcom.
That would be us. We'd just be like chilling, like being like, this is fun. We're in the woods.
No, that's Star Wars. That like the new Clone Wars and shit. That's how they write those troopers or any soldier, any like dopey soldier.
well, these aren't even
That's-
soldiers. These are National Guardsmen. They're volunteers. He says like,
Yeah,
I got to
that's
be
what
at
I'm
the
saying.
pharmacy on
I
Monday.
gotta take a piss.
Yeah.
Leave. Just piss your
He's in.
pants.
He's
Piss
already
your
in his
pants.
outhouse. He's already in the outhouse, so he just starts peeing.
He takes the camera into the toilet and shows us.
He stands up in it's a fucking toilet instead of a chair.
And
No,
let's
but
get to the
that's like
ending.
that's-
Let's get
that's
to the
like
ending.
trope. Okay, you don't want to wait for him.
No, because we're running out of time. So
What? Who's
we have hard
running?
cut off at 1. So I got shit to do today. It's the day before Thanksgiving. We're recording this.
Yeah, why are
week
we
early.
even doing this?
So Stallone jumps on top of a vehicle, goes to town. And I like this because I'm like, what's he doing in this town? Like, what's his plan? And then you see the police station. It's like, oh shit, he's coming to kill the cops. Like it's so personal between him and Brian Dennehy. And they have that cool shootout after those awesome explosions. They're both running around with machine guns in the police station. You see the
Yeah.
Christmas decorations in the police station, thus making it a Christmas movie and totally appropriate for us to do.
Sure.
So him and Brian Dennehy are going at it mano a mano. And then what happens? He shoots Brian Dennehy in the legs, and then Brian Dennehy like falls down through like a glass wall
Yeah.
or window, and then he's just on the ground. And then that's kind of it between them. There is no real arc to Brian Dennehy's character. There is no real
Not yet. It leaves
change.
it open. Yeah.
He's just laying on the ground. At the end of the movie,
He's probably gonna bleed out. You don't just fall. You can't just fall 2 stories out of a building and not be severely damaged. I had a buddy fall 1 step, like a curb height, and hit his head and was in a coma for like 2 months, and now permanently has an eye patch and a cane. You don't just
Who?
fall from a fucking window.
yes, I know. And then Richard
and
Crenna
be
shows up, and he doesn't
fine.
even
So that
help
dude's gotta
Brian Dennehy.
He's gonna be crippled. Yeah, he doesn't. He just starts.
He doesn't
talking
do
to
shit.
Rambo.
That whole thing is
He stops the cops from shooting Rambo.
Brian Dennehy's just gone from the movie, and that's I think
That is a flaw. I didn't even think
It's
about
not-
that.
but because here's the thing though, Stallone, his genius, so to say, is his gut instinct to know that this character, which is him, it's his ego too, but like
Yeah.
he's just trying to make this character as compelling as possible. And he does that monologue where it's like the soldiers were treated bad. I'm the victim. This is a really
Wah,
smart
wah.
scene.
No, he admits that he's the monster and the victim.
But it's a smart scene because after making a Vietnam vet into a psychopathic mass murderer or borderline mass murderer for the whole movie,
Yeah.
now it's like,
domestic
hey,
terrorist.
we're victims. We love the vets. So the fact that this movie is not hated by Vietnam vets, I think is a real smart move on Stallone's part. And it's definitely helped the movie because like in the 80s. Now, Stallone said the character is neutral, but Ronald Reagan famously said Rambo is a Republican. And Stallone was like, well, I don't think you get the character. But it's kind of an incoherent monologue. I'm not. He said he just
It's
wanted
just all
to,
over the place.
it's just all over the place. Stallone said he wanted to make the character kind of like, this guy hasn't talked for days. He's never opened up about his pain. And now he releases his pain. And it is wise to talk about his buddies he's missing because it starts with him visiting Delmar in the beginning. They don't really,
That's
he
the whole
doesn't talk
reason
about
he's in town.
he doesn't talk about the torture. He doesn't talk about the politics of the war. He doesn't talk about how pointless the war is. He doesn't talk about Nixon and McNamara and Lyndon B. Johnson. I mean, he doesn't get into the politics of the war, so he doesn't really offend anyone.
But he talks
It's
about
so
how like
good,
coming home
man.
and getting
It's so-
spit on
it
and
is
shit and like the
neutral,
fake.
which
is fake, which
But
is
it is
fake
true. But
and
it
weak.
truly
That's
is
awesome.
neutral.
That's so awesome that that's fake.
He tells a story
The baby
about
killer thing never happened.
it tells a story about
Like the entire reason why everybody hated hippie, like that was their main argument was like,
it's fake,
oh,
it's propaganda.
like vets getting home and getting spit on and being called baby killers and stuff. It's like
they shot
that never happened.
Anti-war protesters were literally shot by the National Guard. Okay.
Yeah.
Like they shit on the protesters, they shit on the hippies. It's a fucked up war. It was not right. I mean, there's nothing
I
good
bet
about the
somebody
Vietnam.
spit on somebody.
I
bet
Hey, you can
Stallone
spit on me.
somebody.
Spit on
You
me.
spit
Spit on
on
this.
you. Let me
Let me
spit on
your
it.
cock.
Let me spit on your penis.
I think Rambo
Spit in
should
my
kill Richard Crenna. I think he should kill Trouter. I think that guy is
his dad or what?
Yeah.
that's like the machine or whatever that created him.
But he
Yeah.
can't, bro. He cannot.
the original ending had Trouter shooting
Because-
Rambo.
That's how it should. That's how it's going to end. Rambo can't kill that guy because that guy truly created him, and that's what he said. If anybody's going to kill Rambo, it's going to be me. I'm the closest thing he'll ever
kill-
have to family.
I
and
get
then
Brian
he's still
Dennehy in the mix.
But he recognized that he still could utilize him, I believe, at the end of the movie. And then he's telling this whole town, he's like, stop, don't shoot him. I'll talk to him. So Rambo still has this insane asset under his disposal. That's
And also-
his brain.
I'm on Rambo's side throughout the entire
The
movie.
ultimate asset.
They push Rambo. He's defending himself.
For a
They keep-
while.
they
He
keep
coulda
chasing
left
him.
at the mines. He could have been dead forever.
He said to stop. I wanted to stop. Just leave me alone. They keep following him. You know, I'm on Rambo's side.
Yeah, you're right, Ryan. You're on the cop side. You're saying
I'm not saying
No,
I don't
I'm
need
on
Rambo to
Rambo's
say he's a
side until
victim.
I'm on Rambo's side until
At the end, it's like
cave.
I know.
Until the cave.
But
He
the
could have just
rats.
left. He could have just left town. Also, that cave scene
Yeah,
is,
he
the,
what goes
is the
back
best
and shit.
filmed shot of the whole movie. I'd say
with the
I'd
rats,
argue.
you mean?
Yeah,
Well, because it's literal
it's so good.
sourced lighting from the flame. There is no
Yeah,
other
it's-
lights.
It's fucking so good. It's so cool. That rat scene where he's walking through the caves or the
He
mines.
said the rats really bit him.
But-
He had to go to the hospital, and it's a whole to do.
Oh, really?
He said also when he was doing the sewing of the wound,
But I'm saying
that awesome stunt, that awesome
Yeah.
visual effect of the makeup,
his
and they
arm.
would pour out. He said, this is what he says in the commentary. He says, I went to the hospital and was like, hey, I feel an axe blade, and I was sewing myself up. Do you have like an aspirin or something? And they're like, whoa, this guy's
He was doing
crazy.
a joke.
It's like, is this a real story? Like, are you fucking for real? Like, I don't believe you
He's
drove to the
doing some
hospital.
Andy Kaufman shit.
Yeah, like you have like makeup on, and you're like, I'm gonna go to the hospital. I'm gonna do a joke.
Pretend I accidentally fell.
He probably walked up
It
to
sounds like a
some,
joke Stallone would make, like a weird joke. It's like a Cobra.
To the
That's
craft
Cobra.
service PA.
He loves
or
he
whatever.
loves practical jokes.
Yeah.
Really?
But I don't think he would actually drive to a hospital. I think maybe
Okay.
there's like a first aid person on set or something.
But
or
this,
like
but this cave,
an ambulance on set always.
Let me finish this thought. The cave scene,
Oh.
Rambo they all thought he was dead. Everything was done. Everything was hunky dory. The
That guy knew.
The town went back to normal. That guy knew. Rambo had a choice there. He could have left and been reported dead, and he would have been off the grid. He could have left the town. He didn't have to steal that truck of M16.
Oh, he's
with the
going to the fucking
M16.
police to fuck him up. Yeah.
No, I know, I get that.
Yeah.
But
You're right. He has a choice.
He should have just left. So that's when I
Sure,
lost
fit this way.
sympathy for Rambo. That's when I was like, oh, he's just seeing red.
Well, this is the choice that he has to make. This is
No, he's seeing
he's pushed
red,
to the
man.
he's pushed to the end of the line.
He's got a scope on target.
I know, and I think like
He's dealing
I
with a lot of
imagine there's another
frustration and stuff.
there's another scenario where he has the gun up to Brian Dennehy or he has the gun up to Trouter, and then Brian Dennehy's like, hey, don't kill him, man. Like, I kind of expected a turn from Brian Dennehy, but all that look,
No,
all
he
this
needed-
bullshit.
He needed a release, man. He needed a release, and murdering
Yes.
these people and trapping these people was not the release. So the
just
monologue
needed a bust.
makes a lot
Look-
of sense. And you say it's corny and cheesy or whatever, but it probably would be
I will-
because this guy doesn't communicate. That's what a stupid soldier would say.
Look, he's in Vietnam. He tells a story about he's in Vietnam. A little boy comes up with a shoe shine box and says,
No,
you want
no,
me
no.
to
He
shine your
tells-
shoes?
Okay, no, listen.
And then hold
No,
on,
this is
Ryan.
where
What?
you're
No.
apathetic.
Let me talk.
Relax, Ryan.
Just Ryan, you did your
No.
thing. You know, in Vietnam, you need your shiny shoes. So then Rambo says, I go and get some beers because you're in Vietnam and you're just drinking beers. And his friend explodes and all his guts are on him. And it's like, this is why it's a corny scene. This is why the acting is bad.
Half of the monologue is him telling a monotonous story with his friend about how they want to drive the convertible. What are you going to do when you get back? That's called empathy. Like they're building empathy for half of that monologue. And
Yeah,
you
it's
just
a contrived
erased all
scene.
of
You would
that.
see it in amateur acting class, and we get to all watch it at the end of the movie. It's
What are
better
you
than
doing?
it's the best idea
Wow.
on set they had.
What are you doing?
Look, it's the best idea they have on set. I don't think it's a great scene.
What
I
would
don't think
you? How would you do it? How would you? What's the Willie version? William
He
Douglas
should
is-
kill all the cops. That's what I would like to see. Or kill Richard Crenna. Like, I want to see this guy. I'm on his side. I don't like the cops. I don't like the officer.
You can't make a sequel. You can't make a third. You can't make a fourth. You can't make a fifth if he does that.
No, business
I like him
wise,
going soft.
making people turning
How-
Rambo
okay,
into
are
a
you watching the
beloved,
movie as an
innocent
artist or a
puppy
bit?
character.
I don't get it, man. I don't get you.
Look, it's a choice. I think Stallone made
Ryan,
the
don't
smart
leave.
choice.
No,
the
William.
savvy
William drew
choice
first blood
on
this
set.
one.
Ryan's leaving
These guys try to shave Rambo. He has
mentally. He's leaving.
all the rights
In
to
a
murder
way,
all
yeah.
of them.
So yeah, the second one he goes back to Vietnam and just is like,
And then they
let's
tell him
fuck
not
it
to
up.
rescue the
Let's do this.
POWs. They go, don't rescue the POWs in cages, his friends. And he's like, what? No, I want to save them.
Oh, okay.
So that he doesn't listen
right.
to the orders and he rescues the POWs and fights Russians.
This guy's
It's
got
like,
a following orders problem, if you ask me. So they should call
Yes.
this series.
He
of
loves-
movies.
he has a speech at the
How
end
you
of
can't
Rambo
follow
2
orders.
that you should check out.
Okay.
Rocky gives speeches, at the end of Rocky 4, he has a big speech. Stallone considers himself to be a real actor. He doesn't consider himself to be like a stunt guy, like a fucking cowboy. He wants to be De Niro. He wants to give like big, important speeches. So he's constantly writing these speeches at the end of these movies.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
You're
I
in
mean, but,
Vietnam, you're
it's-
drinking brews with your buddies and they're trying to get their shoes shined and then they
Sure,
get
sure.
exploded.
No, when you're over, when
And they're
you
baby
are
killers
forced
getting-
over to a war and you got to murder people and you're just drinking beers with your boys and shoe shining.
Look,
Yeah, just doing the same thing you just
the
did.
histrionics are impressive. He's gabbering, he's goobering, he's crying, his face is all contorted. He's trying to make something sympathetic. Look, you go on YouTube.
Look, hey,
I'm just saying, you go on YouTube, you read the comments of that scene. It's just like, oh my God, nothing else captures the horrors of PTSD like this scene. Nothing else comes close. You know, this is the way soldiers feel. They feel like they
comment
are
section about to get flamed, dude.
They want to be beloved. They want to have their feet kissed. They want to be like, hey, we did the ultimate sacrifice. And it's like,
I didn't fucking waste my life.
yeah, exactly.
I get fucked up for no reason.
Not the American Sniper guy, the guy who killed Bin Laden, not Chris Kyle. What's his name? Robert
Mr.
something.
Rogers?
He has
Yeah,
red
Mr.
hair.
Rogers.
After
Yeah, the sniper,
Mr.
Mr.
Rogers.
After we
He
pulled
was a
out of
sniper, yeah.
Afghanistan,
He's got like 180 body count.
after we pulled out of Afghanistan, he was like on Twitter, like, well, what the fuck? Like, was that war for nothing? Like, was this whole thing pointless? And it's like, yeah, it's pointless.
Like,
where have you been for 60 years, dude? It's like, since Vietnam, it's all been a shit show.
Dude.
The Taliban, Rambo 3, Rambo's on the side of the Taliban. He is helping, or the Mujahideen or whatever. Like, he's helping the Afghanis fight the Russians. Those people become the Taliban who we fought in the Afghanistan war for like 18 years.
Why?
Just along like, whoopsie.
I forget why we got into that war.
Osama bin Laden was hiding in
why
Afghanistan.
did we get it? But why did we start fighting Osama? I seriously forget.
9/11.
What?
Remember 9/11? Ryan, you said you're not.
Although he attacked us,
you would never forget, dude.
He attacked our boat. Before that, he was
Jesus Christ. Sorry, everybody.
Wait, you tell me
has been
Candace
saying for
told
years
you
he would
this?
never forget 9/11, and he forgot.
The good news is today we have
Candace told you
drones.
this?
We have robots. We don't have to deal with soldiers being belly aching after their sad, stupid war.
I heard Sergeant Ligma say that I don't know, he said some pretty crazy stuff. Sergeant Ligma.
After 9/11.
After 9/11.
Dude, the Ligma speech happened like literally the day. William, do you know what we're talking about? Ligma?
Is this in Street Fighter 2?
Captain Ligma.
Do you know Captain
9/11. He with McCain. There was Bush Jr.
He's a big famous.
McCain, and was he Captain Ligma?
Maybe General Ligma.
Whatever. You don't know General Ligma? Because I generally need you to lick my balls, bitch.
Oh, I didn't see that coming.
You truly
We got William. No big deal. You're welcome.
Yeah, what up? I'm Ashton Kutcher, and
I got God on the Street Fighter episode. I got Ligman on the Street Fighter episode, and William got Ligman on this one. It's okay. It's good.
I have been playing the new Pokemon game, and God, there's some crazy characters. This new Ligma character.
So what do we learn? What's the lesson?
Oh no. Maybe
if you're a sheriff, take a gun and put it in your mouth and pull the fucking trigger because you're useless.
Feed a vet. Or if somebody asks for food, just give them some food if you can.
What? That's outrageous, right?
If he wants you to spray, if he says like spray my ass with a hose, he wants you to make him come.
Ryan, what if these dirty people haven't taken a shower? Are we supposed to give them food?
Well, yeah.
Oh my God.
Make sure he comes.
Not everybody has a luxury of showers, William. William would definitely be the William would definitely
I would give them food if I could shave them beforehand. If I could crucify them, spray them with a hose, and then shave them with a straight razor.
William would definitely be the sheriff. William would be all of the sheriffs. It would be like a Oompa Loompa situation. If I could remake this movie, William,
I'd be the kid in the woods.
You would also be the kid in the woods and the kid's parents.
In the novel,
the hunting family.
Rambo murders all of those people.
Well, good. Nice. They're hunting him. Like,
yes.
Don't point a gun at me. Don't give your kid a gun and say, go murder this Vietnam vet. Like
people who turned on the roll.
Bloodline should have been cut out.
Al Pacino turned it down. He wanted to make him more of a psychopath. Dustin
What, the
Hoffman
role
turned
of-
it down.
The role of who?
Rambo.
Oh, okay.
Dustin
All-
Hoffman is Rambo.
Every other,
I don't think
all
so,
of,
guys.
all of these actors turned down Rambo.
Because they wanted to make him more murderous.
It was a
Stallone
best-selling
is,
novel.
he
guess.
famously is said on like there's a talk show clip of him saying that he like when he wrote Rocky, he wanted to like he was like all movies in the 60s and 70s were all like there was nobody to root for. It was people like you
Godfather,
couldn't root for.
One
I
Flew Over the
guess.
Cuckoo's Nest, or
Yeah, it was like anti-hero shit, and he wanted to do a return to like the 50s where there was like a good a
Positive
person
role
that was like
models.
a character that was a good person.
Yeah, now
That
we're
was,
back to
you know, you could root
Jokers.
for and
No more
everything.
Jokers.
I was thinking like Rocky is there like a thing where Rocky is he like dumber across the like during
he gets
throughout
dumber.
the movies?
He gets brain
That's
damage by
a-
part 5.
He's like one of the great movie characters, I would say, because of this. Like
Mhm.
Sylvester Stallone plays him dumber and dumber, like more and more brain damaged every time.
Concussed. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that
but he's like
intentional?
we saw him
Or
his hero's journey and stuff like that. And
Well,
it's so
Muhammad
pure
Ali
and, like,
had the same thing, so he kind of used that as inspiration. Like Leon
well, it's
Spinks,
like-
a lot
yeah,
of those
it's
guys
based on
get
real
brain
shit.
damage.
It's based on real stuff, but it's a
But
movie.
these guys
It's a
that
movie
get
character.
paid to get punched in the face get brain
What about
damage?
retarded James Bond? And each movie he gets success.
Yeah.
He gets
No,
more and more
it'd be,
retarded.
It'd be STD James Bond because
Oh,
he,
yeah.
he fucks all
gets
these
more and more
crazy
STD.
villainous
Yeah, his-
women.
Ew.
So then
he's
it
like
gets-
he's
what's
like
the
the
thing that
king in
killed
Game of
Al
Thrones,
Capone?
House of Dragons.
He has like Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, he
Syphilis.
starts
by the end of
rotting
the-
away. He starts rotting away. James Bond is every episode. He's got a bigger
Iron
hole
Man,
in his
Captain
body.
America. These guys should be rotting. You should have
Captain
scars.
America doesn't fuck.
What about the last one? He married that bitch.
He- He,
So
yeah,
dick don't
he
work
he
no
fucked he fucked his great niece. Is the only
Ooh,
person he had sex with
twisted.
What a freak.
in the MCU. Look it
Captain
up.
America.
Something like that. It's like his great niece or his great granddaughter.
I think those Captain America movies, in the first one, he should have been like, after he got that serum that made him big, he should have looked down at his pants and been like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
his dick's all bigger.
Call me Captain
Yeah.
a penis.
They omitted that. Yeah.
Penis America.
Call me Captain Penis. Call me Penis Man.
Oh, we
Iron
thought
pe-
we
And he goes and
Iron
breaks
penis.
he breaks the shield in half and he goes, I ain't using no shield. I'm a raw. Call me Raw Dog Penis Man.
Or the
becomes
Hulk.
obsessed with having a bigger penis. Nothing else matters.
The Hulk has a green boner when he gets angry.
Raw Dog Penis
course.
Man. And he's in the Captain America leotard. Call me
Okay,
Raw
ratings.
Dog
I gotta get going soon.
Penis.
4.5
Man.
stars. I love the movie. Couple of weak little
Five
parts.
out of 5, baby.
I would say 4. Yeah, 4.5 is reasonable. 5
It's a
is a
f-
little
I love this
crazy,
movie.
but-
I watched it a lot as a kid. It's great. He's a great character. The new Rambos are insane. They're all fun movies. The last Rambo movie ends with
looks
him
great.
ripping out the heart of his enemy, pulling the heart out, showing it to his face, and then throwing it on the ground. They get very
Yeah, I
Yeah,
violent.
just
wanna
think
wa-
about how he killed
think I wanna
nobody
watch
in
the
the
rest of
directly
them.
killed nobody in this movie when you see that scene.
Yes.
I'm gonna go watch and that maybe stop me. I think I'm gonna go watch Rambo 2. I think I'm gonna binge because I got the next 3 days off pretty much.
Guillermo
If I
del
had any free
Toro.
time, I would
Rambo.
do that too.
Guillermo del Toro has a good story about watching the 4th Rambo movie, that one in Burma where he shoots up everybody with machine guns, and he's hanging out with Alfonso Cuarón and Inarritu, and he's like, "Do you guys want to watch the new Rambo movie?" And they're just like, Inarritu's like, "No, I hate that kind of shit," because he's all pretentious. But then Cuarón's like, "Okay, I mean, it might be all right." And then like, they were just all laughing and having fun and cheering, watching all the murder, So Rambo's fun.
That's like us, basically. We should have
People love
started a
Rambo.
podcast.
He's a sensitive soldier. He's an innocent man. He never has sex, I guess. Right?
He's never ripped
damaged.
the heart out of anybody. Never
He's
like
da-
gone over the top or anything like that.
Well,
you know?
that's the final button of the story.
Are we watching Over the Top next?
Now, next we're watching a lovely Christmas movie about a pedophile who keeps a child in his basement.
William, what happened? What is your PTSD?
Look, this is a very
is
popular
wrong with
More
movie.
PTSD, Ryan.
People love First Blood.
Why does it have to exclusively be?
Well, because children can't
pedophilia and
consent, Ryan.
But no, William.
I'm sorry, but I don't think
I'm
children
saying,
can
do you go to
consent.
therapy?
Maybe
William?
in Texas it's different.
William, do you go to therapy?
Why would I go to therapy? There's nothing wrong with me.
What's going on, man? You need to work through something in this podcast.
He's
ain't
not
doing
making
it.
the movies, Ryan.
I'm just watching
I'm
it.
talking about this podcast. It ain't doing it.
You know, Ryan,
You should watch A Bug's Life or something.
are you in therapy?
Yeah.
No,
Bug's Life.
no, you're not.
Remake of Seven Samurai.
Hey, 42 Ronin.
Dr. Blunt.
Oh, we
is
just
your
naming samurai
therapist.
movies.
Yeah, that's your therapist, Dr. Blunt.
I haven't smoked a blunt in a month.
My
just
therapist,
smoke?
Jack Daniels.
Very
A
nice.
joint.
Oh, okay. Hey, dude, you're getting better.
You'll like the movie. There's a great Christmas scene in it. There's more Christmas in it than First Blood.
I'm not even that big of a fan of Christmas or the snow
Yeah,
or the
let's-
cold.
Let's do
And
a
you're
real
gonna throw
Christmas
rape- you're gonna
movie,
throw
like
rape
this-
The
on top
fourth
of it?
movie will be a real Christmas movie. I promise
William,
you.
I'm
It'll
just
be
saying,
Santa Claus won't be in it, but there will be lots of Christmas in it.
Ryan wants to be caught up in holiday cheer.
You can watch your Lindsay Lohan Christmas movie on Netflix.
I've already seen it 4 times.
Okay, well,
Okay.
that's just
I'm
Now
worried
what's your
about
answer,
you,
William?
William.
worry about your damn self.
I am.
I'm worried about getting off this podcast.
I'm worried. I'm not worried enough about you, William.
Worried about getting my dick sucked. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want for Christmas.
Why are you worried about that?
I want a dick sucking machine for Christmas.
Oh, cool. Like a full
Uh-oh.
machine,
Like a dog?
like a robot
Like a
robot
dog.
dog.
Like a dog?
Damn, dude, that'd be a hell of a
And-
dog.
In a jar of peanut butter? Is that still a
All
joke?
right,
that
you guys
make?
enjoy. Take it away with this one. I gotta go.
Where are you going?
He's got.
Gotta go pick my
Speaking
parents up
speaking
from
of
the airport.
dogs,
You
I
gonna
gotta
tell them
go.
about the episode?
Tell him what the last thing we talked about was.